Hi, it's Wasabi. Welcome back to the channel. This video is on the new French premium tank, the AltProto AMX 30. It's a prototype for the AMX 30 tank, of course, from the name, and it's quite similar to the AMX CDC, which it's also a French premium mini tank at tier 8. So this is going to show you the gameplay and how the tank plays. As I mentioned in my earlier video today, it's got a 100mm gun with 300 average damage and decent standard pen and decent premium shell. So you can see 1000 meters per second is the velocity of the standard round, and a quick look at the premium round is 263 pen with 1250 meters per second. Now we've sort of set the tank up for gun, well actually accuracy. We've got the equipment running is vents, gun rammer and the improved aiming device. Now the reason for that is the average DPM before anything goes on is 1800 hit points per minute, which is a bit low for a tier 8, and with this and running food we've got the DPM down to to about 2200. Now we spot the Pantera there and get spotted ourselves, so just coming into the dip here to try and stay out of the line of sight of tanks further down. We did try and shoot a fairly long distance there. Now there's a snapshot there, luckily that went in, so we managed to hit the Pantera. And you can see the gun bloom relatively large, but we're not running V-stabs on it. It does have V-stabs available, but still want to get help with the aiming, and what improved aiming does is reduce your aiming circle size, so it does help with the overall accuracy of the gun even when on the move. So not quite as much as V-stabs, but I think it's more important to be able to aim the shots in. Now Pantera's not so much a problem. The Centurion here's got a pretty strong turret, so we don't want to really go down and face that down the hill, but just as a reminder, the gun depression on this tank is 11 degrees, which is pretty phenomenal. Probably one of the highest in the game actually, but definitely good for a medium tank. And we're just sort of snapshotting here, trying to take advantage of the spotting that's going on in the middle, but yeah, not really connecting here, and this is sort of part of the gun handling problem. So firing standard rounds here. We're in a tier 9, tier 8 game, but we are firing at the side of those tanks, so not using premium ammunition at this point, but we'll see how we go with it. We keep getting spotted by these tanks, so each time that happens, don't want to pop up too high. There'll be tank destroyers at the back, and you can see a few shells flying overhead. Yeah, and tanks further down, so we're just waiting for them to pop up, see if we can get a shot into the side of their turrets, but they're being pretty cautious. And as you probably see, this is an encounter battle, so the camp area is at the base of the hill, so you need, the hill is an important part of the battle when it's in encounter mode. And unfortunately we get hit by a T-28 prototype. A bit hard to tell where that is, whether it's further back, but pretty sure it's on the hill at the back. I'm getting a few tanks spotted here. Don't want to push too far forward to try and shoot that Alpine target. If we do, we'll probably get spotted again through the bushes by the Pantera or the Centurion, so just looking for different angles here. Snapshot towards IS-3, don't think that went in. And again, just trying different angles here to try and pick up those targets that are being spotted in the middle around the cap area. because there's obviously, you know, like honey for the bees, it draws a lot of tanks there. You can see them on the mini-map there. So there should be some targets there, but we're just not seeing them. I picked up a bit of assisted damage. The view range of the tanker standard is 380. We're not running any optics or any other things other than we've got brothers in arms on the crew, and we're running food, so plus some recon and situational awareness. So the view range is bumped up a bit, but it's only about sort of 450 or so at the most, if that, as in our current configuration. So just looking for the top of that STI there and not getting the enough of an outline, or he's not staying lit long enough for us to really know that our shot's going to go in. And here we go, he's coming up again. Now we've got a good chance here, waiting for the aim circle to get down, and we managed to get a shot in. We switched to premium range that time just for the higher shell velocity. And forgetting that we've got premium range loaded, we're putting blind shots into the standard bushes on the hill right in the back there. There was an IS-2 spotted up there earlier. And this is one of the problems with the encounter mode, that people still think you need to play the 1-2 line or control it. And I suppose you do need to make sure that you don't get wrapped around there, but this is something that does take up tanks that could be used better somewhere else. Anyway, just trying to do damage to this Basante, and actually we've got a pretty good chance of doing damage to him. Not getting his outline here. As he comes out, we get his outline, and we should be able to put a damaging shot in with a bit of luck. And again, just switching to premium rounds, so just really need to do some damage here and see if we can alter the state of this game. And he's there on the cap circle trying to stop the cap timer, which he's done successfully, but I think if we keep staying there, we'll be able to damage him a bit more. And we don't get the kill, but he gets taken out. Now we get spotted there. That's most likely that Centurion popping up while we were firing. But we don't want to be targeted by the T95. We'll have no problem going through our armour. And there's that Centurion. Now we don't get spotted that time. That's good, because he obviously didn't pop up while we were firing. But unfortunately, there's a T42 that we haven't seen. Oh, actually was last spotted on the next to the railway line, but he's taken out the Charioteer. And now we're 4 tanks down, so not looking good here. We did manage to get another shot in and damage the Centurion there, so that was handy. And then we've got the ST1, and that's what I mean about the gun handling. If you don't really aim it in for probably a good second, then you're really reducing your likelihood that you're going to get the shot on target. Now we've got the enemy capping, that's okay. Again, with encounter, it's a pretty long cap time. And that ST1 or STI just pulls back before we can fire. Alright, now the T95 is the one on cap. Okay, we shoot and knock down the buildings around him, but he's obviously a bit aware of that, so he's moving around, just trying to stay in cover. He'll know we're up here, we've been spotted enough times. Now, there's only 5 minutes left. Damn, this game is being pretty stagnant here. No one's really pushing, no one's doing a whole lot. Managed to get the balance back a little bit. Mudguard and the Renegade has just taken out the Pantera on the hill, so that's good. There's still the Centurion there. And now we're just basically firing shots to try and destroy the buildings around the T95, so we'll switch back to standard ammo. And we're just trying to demolish here. Now we can see dust flying up, so we know we're not hitting anything. But we're the last tank on the hill, so we don't really want to give up this position, and we don't want to let that Centurion get away. No, there we go. The T95 has actually moved up while he was under cover, so got some more buildings to shoot at. And we do need to get a reset. So just moving here to try and change the angle and see if we can get on him. If you get up here on the inside, we've spotted another target here, T28 prototype. We aim in on him and get a nice shot. And looks like the T95 has actually moved off cap and is retreating. So not sure that this game is going to turn into a win. No one's really got a dominant position. We've sort of evened it out a bit in terms of hit points and guns in the game, but only 4 minutes to go and no one's really pushing. No one's doing more, trying to have a go at that T28 prototype, but unfortunately this is the aiming of the gun, lets you down a little bit. So we can try and keep him lit, but the problem with that is, here we go, and I don't know why that didn't go into the Centurion. If we can light those tanks, then maybe the tanks down below can shoot at them, and there we go. Muddy takes out the Centurion, and we get a shot on the WZ tank destroyer right at the back there. It was a good roll. I'm not getting any sign of that Alpine Tiger, so it looks like he's right down on the edge of the river. And the T28 prototype, I think again if we just took our time there and aimed a bit longer, we might have got that shot in. And finally one goes in, but this is the luck of the draw when you're snapping shots. Some of them go in, of course, because you've got skilled crews, etc. And we just hang out too long to put that shot in on the T95, and we get hit by the WZ tank destroyer. And we'd like to repay the favour again if we can, but just not getting that. And the T95 is facing us, so that's not good either. So 2 minutes to go. We're well down on hit points now. It's almost a matter of survival. And I've just got just enough hit points to keep playing, but don't want to take any more hits, and that will take us out of the game. And Mudguard's pretty low on hit points as well, so not much we can do in terms of push. And we just keep losing the outline on that Alpine Tiger, but again he's just right down on the edge of the river. Now we get spotted again. T28 prototype do get some assisted damage from that, and luckily we slide off the hill without killing ourselves, so I'm just going to try and relocate. T28 prototype gets taken out, which is good. But now there's only 1:30 to go, and yeah, this doesn't look like it's going anywhere. We can get on cap, but that's not what we can do. So now, fire through the tractor there. You can always fire through the destructibles. You just lose a bit of penetration over it. And just missed the tail of the T95. We could certainly take him out, but he's turned around to face us again, which we don't want to see. So we pull right back, but he gets a nice shot on him as he's facing my way. He's side on to Mudguard, so he's turning around in each direction, and we're just not getting the outline of him to get a shot in. So it's getting tense now. It's only 35 seconds left. I don't think that's going to be enough. Only got 800 points between us. No, I'm not going to go through the front of the T95, but Mudguard does, and it just shows you how good the Renegade is. But now there's only 2 tanks left, but we don't have enough time to get over there and kill them. And they're just hiding basically, so this is going to be a draw. Anyway, that's the tank. Let's just pause it at that point. So what can we say about the tank? Well, I think you've seen the most of it. It's pretty damn fast across the ground, 65 kilometers per hour, and it does get up to speed. It's got good power to weight ratio, not quite as good as the CDC, but definitely hold its own. The gun accuracy is probably the main problem. The turret movement gives you the most bloom. The actual tank traverse is not so bad on the bloom, but that's probably its biggest failing, I would think, is just unreliable shooting. Armor's not much to take home, but it is a medium tank, so that's no big deal. You can see we bounced 1 shot, but other than that, we picked up some assisted damage. That was being pretty close to the enemy. Is the tank worth it? I guess that's the big question. Yeah, I think if you can get up to 50% off the tank, it might be worth it. My biggest problem though is the crew layout. It's got a different crew layout to all my other French medium tanks, so it's not really a crew trainer. It's going to be a tank that you want to play it by itself, or might have the same crew layout as the AMX 30B, but they're not even in the tech tree anymore. So you've got to sort of make a decision. You know, is that a feature that you want? So would you buy it? Yeah, I think with a reasonable discount it's worth it, but I wouldn't be buying it outright myself. So I'll leave that to you. This was the best game in it that I had in preparation. So I hope you liked it. And we'll just put the results up in a second so you can have a look at the economics. Okay, so that was a draw. We did get Confederate for damaging tanks that were then killed by other tanks. 3,000 hit points of damage and 1,900 of assisted damage, and we blocked 1 shot. And we've got a first class badge, but let's have a look at the team performance. So Mudguard actually finished on top there. He got nearly 5.5k damage, so that was nice. 961, he might have got a ace tanker out of that actually. We ended up with 733 base experience, so although we finished second in damage. And then, yeah, the Centurion that was on the hill did just under 3k as well, and the T42 that did a bit of damage from the ground did 3.2. So, yeah, it was a draw, but yeah, we just didn't have the armor to push, and you can see we lost quite a bit of hit points at the end, so not much we could do about that. Let's have a look at the economics of that. We ended up firing quite a lot of ammunition actually. It carries 50 rounds. We fired 39, but you can see we only got 13 hits out of that. Now we did fire a lot of blind shots, so you can certainly excuse some of that, but yeah, I reckon the percentage hits for this tank are not going to be at the highest of all the tanks there. Of the hits there, we got 10 penetration, so we did fire a bit of premium ammunition. So we ended up spending 61k on ammo, and I think that premium round's 4.8k, pretty standard for tier 8 premium round, doing 300 damage, and not a lot in repairs on the vehicle, but again it's a premium tank, so we had some battle payments there, we had a mission payout, and we got some for achievement, which would be, we must have got, yeah, so it looks like we ended up with the Courageous Resistance award, and I just slipped my mind about that, and got some platoon bonuses as well, which is nice. So we did end up making a profit there of 93k, which is not bad. So you can see it's a credit earner if you don't waste too many premium shells. I probably would have made a bit more if we hadn't blind shotted so many, particularly into the buildings, etc. But it is what it is. Anyway, if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, consider subscribing. We'll have more good content to follow, and thanks for watching.